I'm Joshua Parker, known as DJ Parker, and this is Unique Beatz Studio. You're here for another Parker radio show.
Hey everybody, let's go. I'm hoping that you're ready for another episode. You know we play that music in the UB studio. And now it's time to welcome everybody to the Parker radio show. Everybody, let's go. I'm hoping that you're ready for another episode. You know we play that music in the UB studio. And now it's time to welcome everybody to the Parker radio show.
How we doing out there, everybody? We're here for another Parker radio show, here live at Unique Beatz Studio. With special thanks to our nation's finest, thank you for your service. Want Target Relief fast? Now you can enjoy the best-selling One Less CBD Tropical Inflammation Cream. Get yours for free, plus shipping. Limited time offer. Go to www.onelesscbd.com/UB Radio. Welcome back to another episode of the Parker Radio Show. It is August 12th, and we had an amazing artist this morning. Wow! All the way from Brantford, Ontario. Ashley Blanc is an award-winning country music singer-songwriter, singing Martina McBride and Shania Twain shortly after she learned to talk was the first sign she had a passion for music. Ashley's sound can be described as Patsy Cline meets the Chicks, meets modern-day Casey Musgraves. She combines her heartfelt honesty of traditional country with the powerful vocals of Natalie Mays and the lyrical craft of today's country. After learning how to play guitar at a young age, learning to sing came naturally. After hearing Patsy Cline, Loretta Lynn on her dad's jukebox, she knew the world of country music and the classic songwriting was where she belonged. After her uncle gave her her first classic record player, she started collecting old vinyl LPs and studied the songs from time to time in traditional country where talent and strong voices mattered most. Ashley began singing in church, school, at retirement homes, and local coffee shops. She was able to improve her skills on guitar and vocals while developing a strong interest in writing her own music. After releasing her first EP at 13, she continued to write songs, take lessons, learning from talented musicians who mentored her along the way. In 2019, she released her debut album, The Luckiest Girl in the World. Ashley wrote all the music and was joined on the album by some of Canadians' top musicians, including Steve Smith, Sean O'Grady. After a successful CD release party, her songs received airplay on indie radio stations across the globe, from Canada, Germany, Australia, Texas, and Nashville. Ashley performs most weekends near her hometown, at summer and fall fairs, charity events, local pubs, and breweries. She has sung for the national anthem for the OHL's Hamilton Bulldogs, performed at the famous St. George Apple Fest, and on the CHCH Morning Live in Hamilton. Since March of 2020, she has been performing on Facebook, Instagram Live to stay connected with her fans. In August of 2020, her album won International Gold Album of the Year at the International Singer-Songwriters as International Singer-Songwriters Awards. Her video for Rain won Bronze Award for Best International Video. In September of 2020, she began studying community music at Wilford University since 2020. She has been co-writing new music with talented artists such as Douglas Romaine, Jane, Benita Hill, and more. In 2022, she will be releasing a new full-length album recorded in both Toronto and Nashville, so stay tuned. Let's give a big warm welcome to Ashley LeBlanc. Ashley, is it Blanc? Am I pronouncing that right, Ashley?
Yeah, yeah, it is LeBlanc.
Pretty hard name, all the way from Ontario, Canada. How we doing today, Ashley?
I'm so great. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, let's start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and how you came to love music.
Yeah, of course. So I'm a country music singer. I actually have been singing since I could talk, and I've been playing guitar for over 10 years. Um, Growing up, I was introduced to music through my parents. Something really cool. My dad knows how to fix jukeboxes, so we actually own a few of them. And I grew up like picking out 45s and listening to like the little 45 records and picking which ones I wanted into the jukebox. So that's how I found my love of classic country, which is like my favorite thing in the world. So I would listen to like Patsy Cline and Loretta Lynn, Dolly Parton. Yeah, I think I've just been influenced by so much older music, and that's kind of how I found my love of it.
Very nice. We also have a few different record players, 45s. They play 8 tracks there in the studio. So I am an avid vinyl
Oh,
collector as
awesome.
well.
Oh, very cool.
Yes, yes. What were some of those first memories as a singer, and was there a particular artist that you idolized at a young age?
So growing up, I grew up in like the 2000s. So I remember there's two huge albums that were like the first albums that I really connected with, and it's kind of cheesy. They're like total Disney albums. One is like I believe it's called Kiss and Tell by Selena Gomez and the Scene. And the other one is Here We Go Again by Demi Lovato. I just fell in love with it. That's when we had CDs. So I would physically open the little lyric booklets and I would sit and read all the lyrics while listening to it. And I just fell in love with all the different artwork and just everything to do with the albums. I've just always been so drawn to like the creative aspects of making music, not just like the music itself, but also everything that involves like a hard copy, stuff like that. So those two were pretty impactful. But besides that, I've always been a huge Taylor Swift fan. She really changed the way that I looked at songwriting. Katy Perry was also one of my first real big influences growing up.
Not only do you
Yeah.
listen to their songs, but you're looking at the album and just going over things. You're not just listening to the
Yeah.
song. So you're embracing a lot that goes on as far as being a singer or a singer songwriter for that instance. But from that age to now, how has your influence in music changed, and who are your major influences currently?
Oh yeah. So currently, I'm just such a huge Patsy Cline fan. I will listen to her probably for the rest of my life. I know every single one of her songs. I love her so much. Her voice is just so unique and so emotional, and it makes just such an impact no matter what you listen to. I also love the Chicks. They are another one of my huge influences. Still, I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan, but I also, besides like typical country music, I love like the Beatles and the Beach Boys and Frank Sinatra and John Denver. I love all sorts of different music. And I think that's because of like the jukebox growing up.
So, since the beginning of your music career, what kind of training have you been through to get to where you are now?
I have been taking music lessons since I don't know how old I was, but I was in like grade four-ish. I would take guitar lessons and singing lessons. For a while, I even tried to learn the banjo, but I gave up on it because it was way too hard. I've always been involved in music. I'm taking music through school. I'm in university now, and I'm going to Laurier for music and with hopes to eventually become a music teacher if the whole like Taylor Swift thing doesn't happen. But still, I'm just so happy to be able to share music with everyone and to be able to impact somebody's life by sharing my love of music. That's really the goal. So any way that I could do that is awesome.
So, I know I heard you say that you've been around music your whole life, and Has your family always encouraged
Yeah.
you to pursue a career in the music industry?
Oh, yes. Yeah. My parents are so beyond supportive. We make jokes. I always say that my dad's such a dance mom because all he does is like, while I'm performing or anything, he walks around, says like, "Oh, that's my daughter." He's just so proud. So he really helps with like the sound of my live shows. He helps me set everything up. I just kind of show up and sing, and my wonderful mom does all like the manager duties. So it's really like a family team. It's pretty cool.
So rewarding when you've got your family behind you as far as helping you out to pursue your dreams, and that's just so awesome. Let's talk a little bit about performing, and how would you describe your
Yeah.
on-stage personality?
That's a really good question. I've honestly never really thought about it. For the past little bit, I am planning on releasing an album soon, which is super exciting in the fall. And really, I've been trying just to give off like a really sweet overtone, like just very approachable. I love to sing all sorts of older music, so I've also been trying to find like a bunch of covers from like the Beatles and stuff and try to make them a bit more feminine because, I don't see a ton of girls singing like male-based songs. So I've been really working on that too.
That's very nice. Taking another song and making it your own is really, really unique, and a lot of these artists are doing that. As I was traveling in my early 20s, I had lived down in Evansville. There was a band that took Britney Spears songs and made them rock, and it was just so awesome. I know you said
Oh
you were a
my
big
gosh.
Britney Spears fan. As of today, I really don't have connection with those guys. I wish I could reach out to them, but that's something awesome that you got going on, and it helps engage with the crowd for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, that's so cool. I love that.
So, what are some of your memorable performances and what made them so memorable?
You know what? This is kind of cheesy, but during in 2020 while we were locked down, one of the coolest performances I would have to say was performing. I like sent a video, so it wasn't even really like a live performance, but it was in my eyes. I was able to play a few songs for like our local news station that I've been watching for my entire life. So I thought that was pretty cool, and it was like on their live. So I thought that was pretty cool. But like live performances, oh my gosh. Um, I really love doing the fairs around, like in Ontario locally. I think it's just such a cool space. It's an awesome way because I sing a lot of country music, and it's a great way to connect with people who are just, celebrating their town. And it's super, super fun. I love doing that.
Opened up or sing the national anthem for, you know, a, a couple different big sports venues. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, yeah, that was so cool. I absolutely loved doing that. That was in Hamilton, which is very close to Brantford, and I went to that. I believe it's like an amphitheater. For my whole life, I've seen many concerts there. That was where I saw my first concert. So it was pretty surreal. I also saw Paul McCartney there. So it was pretty cool to be able to sing in the same place as Paul McCartney. Yeah, it was so cool. I love doing that. And it's hockey. It's very stereotypically Canadian, but it was super fun. I loved it. Yeah,
Besides
that's
music,
awesome.
what are some of your favorite pastime activities, maybe some hobbies or interests that you enjoy doing?
I would have to say that music takes up about 90% of my life. I do it all the time. If I'm not like listening to it, I'm singing. If I'm not doing that, I'm learning about it. I'm reading about it. I'm like a huge music history nerd too. I love learning about like all sorts of stuff like that. But during COVID, I did find a love of baking. So I love to bake like cakes and cookies and pies and all sorts of stuff. Um, a few Christmases ago, my mom got me one of those like KitchenAid mixers in like baby pink, and I'm obsessed with it. So, yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with that.
Very nice. I could say I love to cook as well. It's nice to sit down and cook a good sized meal. I cooked some pork loins the other day and they were just so amazing. And I was on a call yesterday because I'm in a group of entrepreneurs and like minded people that are pursuing multi levels. And we were talking about food, and they're like, well, what do you do for your pastime activities? And I was like, well, I'm in a social club and I love to cook. So, other than that, give me 3 words that will best describe yourself and why.
Ooh, oh my gosh. I would say creative, um, because I'm always thinking of like what's next with my music. I'm always thinking of like possible lyrics or a possible melody in making music. I would say, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Maybe independent. I do love to work with a bunch of different musicians, but I do find a huge love for making music by myself. I really like writing by myself. I also love writing with other people, but there's just something so magical about sitting down and like playing your guitar, sitting at the piano, and just writing a song by yourself. So I would definitely say independent. And oh my gosh, a third one, caring, and very like family oriented. I absolutely love spending time with my family. It's like my number one thing. And it just makes me so happy. So I would say that.
Going back to your independent, how you saying you like to write music with yourself. Now, quick question
Yeah.
here. Do you
hmm
write the lyrics out first, or do you do a melody? Do you have a hook? What is it that you do to, per se, start your structure as far as writing a song?
Yeah. So usually I will kind of have a basic idea of like a topic or something that I really like and I want to kind of involve into a song. And then I just usually sit with my guitar, sit at the piano, and I just try a bunch of random lines that just pop up into my head with some chords, and something usually clicks.
Very nice. So the spirits are just hovering over you. Really good spirits. That's great. So fan interaction is an important part of being an artist and the most rewarding. Any stories you
Yeah.
have about fans that have stood out to you? Maybe a first autograph story, or maybe the first time a fan noticed you in public?
Throughout, I've been doing this for, I don't know, maybe about 6 years, maybe a little bit more. And there's just so many sweet people. And like even last night I had a show, and these like two super sweet girls came up to me after, who were a bit younger than me, and we were just talking about our love of music. And I love to ask like anybody who walks up to me like who their favorite artists are, and why they love music so much. I think that's so magical. But honestly, I think some of the coolest interactions that I can remember are online, through like social media. I've met so many sweet people who are so supportive on my music. Like they comment on my posts, and we kind of have like a little bit of a like connection, from just chatting back and forth. And yeah, I think that's so magical. Like they could be across the world, and we could be uh, very connected. And I think that's amazing.
So tell us how you like to interact with those fans and what you have coming up here in the future that fans will enjoy.
Yeah. So I love social media. I think it's an awesome tool to connect with fans and friends. And during COVID, I stopped doing it because I've been super, super busy with like live performances. But during COVID, I hosted like almost weekly, I believe, live show on Facebook and Instagram, and where fans could suggest songs for me to sing. There was like a whole list on my website, and they could request songs, and I would sing them. And it was an awesome way to like get to know my fans and entertain them during COVID, when at least Canada was locked down. Like the world was locked down for a little bit too. So that was pretty cool. And I got to know them better, and I got to hear some stories from them all about their love of music, and I think that's so cool. I also really do try to respond to all my comments. I'm so grateful for all the support, and I think it's awesome just to get to know people better and hear about why they like music and maybe why they like mine. It's just something super cool. But as for the future, what's to come, I do eventually hope to do more of those live shows. Just performing in person has been back, so I've been super busy with that. But I do hope to do that in the future. I am going to be releasing an album soon in the fall, which is super exciting. It's been almost maybe 2 years in the making, so I'm really excited for everyone to hear it. I put out 2 singles previously called Glitter and Rhinestone Cowgirl, which are both on this album. So if we like things that sparkle, I think you might like this album. So I'm really excited.
We're looking really forward to hearing the album Rhinestone. So tell us a little bit about that song. What inspired you to write it? Just give us a little bit of back history.
Yeah. So Rhinestone Cowgirl, oh my gosh. I wrote that in Nashville with my producer, Doug Romano, and a wonderful songwriter named Antoinette Olson. It was basically a dream of mine to kind of write a song about my love of classic country music because I love it so much. So I came up with the idea of a song called Rhinestone Cowgirl, kind of playing off of Glenn Campbell's song, Rhinestone Cowboy. And it's a very true story. I would say it's one of the most personal songs on the album. It kind of tells the story of me growing up being different than everyone else, listening to this like country music from 1955 that nobody else my age around me in Brantford, Ontario would listen to. So, I had a few challenging experiences with that going through high school, of course, as anyone would. So I kind of wanted to write a song reflecting on that and, almost bringing power to it, saying like, hey, it's okay to be different, and it makes you way cooler. So that's kind of what the album's about in a sense. So yeah, I'm really excited about the album. I'm super excited. I just filmed a music video for Rhinestone Cowgirl. So it kind of will paint a bigger picture to, the song. And I'm excited for everyone to see that too.
Well, thank you so much, Ashley, for taking time out to do this interview with us here on the Parker Radio Show, live from Unique Beatz Radio. You're a great new addition to our lineup of artists, and we're honored to air your new single, Rhinestone Cowgirl. You can find out more about Ashley Blanc at Ashley Blanc Music for her updates, concert events, and where else could we find you as far as social media, Ashley?
I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok, all under Ashley LeBlanc Music.
Very nice. So go out, give her a follow, give her a like, help support her. And again, 2-time 2020 International Gold with the International Singer-Songwriters Association Album of the Year. And I do believe she had bronze for the best international video with Rain. You're listening to the Parker Radio Show live here at Unique Beatz.
This is D-Shot Renard, and you're listening to the Parker Radio Show. It's that home with the good stuff, home with the new music everybody wanna listen to, so tell me what you really gonna do. When we got DJ Parker on the ones and twos, D-Shot on the beat, so you know we can't lose. Check me out on Instagram at DShotRenard. And also check out DShot_1 on TikTok for some more daily raps and freestyles.